Hello everyone, welcome back to Fluent by Story, where powerful real-life stories not only inspire but also help you improve your English listening and speaking skills. Today's story is heartbreaking, intense, and unforgettable. The true story of a young man named John Edward Jones, whose adventurous spirit led him deep into a famous cave in Utah, where he became trapped in one of the most difficult and emotional rescue missions in modern history. John Edward Jones was born in 1983 in Utah, United States, into a loving family that valued togetherness, faith, and adventure. From a young age, John and his siblings were introduced to the world of caving, also called spelunking, by their father. It was a family tradition to explore the hidden, winding tunnels of nature, crawling through the Earth's underground mazes. Caving was more than just a hobby for them. It was a way to bond, to challenge themselves, and to discover the quiet mysteries beneath the surface of the earth. John was an active, bright, and compassionate child who grew into a responsible, faith-driven young man. He was known for his kindness, his determination, and his devotion to family. After finishing college, John was studying to become a doctor, specializing in pediatric cardiology, a doctor for children's hearts. He had recently married his college sweetheart, Emily, and they had a little daughter named Elizabeth, just 13 months old. Emily was also pregnant with their second child. Life was full of dreams and expectations. John had a loving family, a strong faith in God, and a promising future ahead. In November of 2009, during the Thanksgiving holiday, John returned to Utah to spend time with his family. Like many families do during the holidays, they wanted to reconnect, laugh, and share new memories. As part of their tradition, John and his younger brother Josh decided to explore one of Utah's well-known caves, the Nutty Putty Cave. Nutty Putty Cave is a hydrothermal cave located about 55 miles southwest of Salt Lake City. It had a reputation. Though popular with local adventurers, it was also known for its extremely narrow passageways, tight squeezes, and difficult terrain. Named for its soft, clay-like texture, Nutty Putty was a dangerous place even for experienced cavers. The cave had previously seen multiple rescues due to people getting stuck. In fact, after several incidents, it was temporarily closed in 2006 but reopened in 2009, just months before John's visit. On the evening of November 24, 2009, around 8 p.m., John, Josh, and a group of friends and family members entered Nutty Putty Cave. They were experienced and prepared with headlamps, ropes, helmets, and a plan. Their goal was to explore for a few hours and return before midnight. John was searching for a narrow section of the cave known as the Birth Canal, a tight but navigable tunnel that many cavers passed through for the challenge. However, in the confusing network of dark and winding paths, John mistook another narrow opening for the Birth Canal. He crawled headfirst into the tight space, inching his body forward with his arms pinned to his sides, breathing shallowly as the space closed in around him. The passage he entered was not the Birth Canal but a much tighter, unexplored section later identified as an unmapped crevice. As he moved further in, the tunnel narrowed drastically and John became completely stuck, in an upside-down position, with his body trapped at a 70-degree angle, head pointed downward, and his chest compressed so tightly that he could barely breathe. At first he tried to back out, but the angle and the pressure on his body made it impossible. He was lodged in a space just 10 inches wide and 18 inches tall, not enough for a full-grown man to turn around or reposition himself. When he realized he couldn't move, panic started to rise. His brother Josh was the first to reach him, crawling into the narrow path and grabbing hold of John's legs, trying to pull him out. But no matter how hard he pulled, John wouldn't budge. John's position made it even worse. Being upside down for extended periods causes blood to pool in the brain and organs, increasing pressure on the heart and lungs. John remained conscious, speaking to his brother, apologizing repeatedly, and praying. He said, "I'm sorry, Josh. I'm so sorry," as if he knew the seriousness of the situation. Josh reassured him, "We're going to get you out. Just hang in there." Around 9:30 p.m., Josh and the group exited the cave and called for rescue. Soon, over 100 trained rescuers, medical personnel, and volunteers arrived at the scene. The rescue effort began quickly but proved to be one of the most difficult in history. The passage was too narrow for rescuers to reach him directly. They had to approach slowly, using small tools and mirrors to even see him. They brought food, water, and oxygen, but getting anything to John was an extreme challenge. His location, over 400 feet from the cave's entrance and more than 100 feet underground, made every task difficult and dangerous. They installed a pulley system and ropes in an attempt to pull John out by his legs inch by inch, while also trying to widen the tunnel. At one point, after many hours, they managed to move him slightly. John seemed hopeful, thanking the rescuers and speaking about his family, about Emily, about Lizzie, about the baby they were expecting. He spoke of God, of forgiveness, and of love. He remained conscious for most of the time, even cracking a few jokes with the paramedics, trying to stay strong. But then tragedy struck again. As they pulled using the pulley system, one of the anchors, a bolt attached to the cave wall, snapped free. The rope system failed. The shock caused John to slip even deeper into the narrow space. Now his position was even more critical. His breathing was shallow, his circulation worsening. Rescuers were devastated. Over 27 hours had passed since John became trapped. Despite every effort, drilling, pulling, comforting, even considering breaking his legs to move him, nothing worked. Medical staff warned that his position was fatal. Gravity was pulling blood into his brain and lungs. His heart was under immense pressure. Finally, sometime in the early hours of November 26, 2009, John Edward Jones lost consciousness. Minutes later, his heart stopped. He passed away deep inside Nutty Putty Cave. He was just 26 years old. The rescue team, many of whom had worked non-stop for nearly 30 hours, were heartbroken. They had tried everything and still it wasn't enough. The Jones family, filled with grief, expressed forgiveness and gratitude toward the rescuers. They knew those men and women had done all they could. Due to the extreme danger of the tunnel and the risk of further injury or death, John's body could not be recovered. In the end, state officials made the difficult decision to seal the cave permanently. They filled the entrance with concrete, creating a tomb where John would rest forever. A memorial plaque was placed outside, honoring his life, his courage, and the tragic lessons learned. Emily, John's widow, later gave birth to their second child, a boy. She named him John, after his father. Today, the story of John Edward Jones stands as one of the most tragic yet powerful reminders of the beauty and danger of adventure, of the power of family, and the strength of the human spirit in the darkest places. His story has been told in documentaries, podcasts, and articles, and continues to move people around the world. It teaches us the importance of caution, the fragility of life, and the impact of love, even in moments of despair. So the next time you face something difficult, remember John's courage, the rescuer's dedication, and the family's strength. And always remember, even in the deepest, darkest places, both in caves and in life, the light of love and faith can shine the brightest. Thank you for listening to this emotional story on Fluent by Story. If this story moved you, share it with someone learning English, practice speaking it aloud to improve your fluency, and never forget, true stories not only teach vocabulary, they teach humanity. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep feeling every word.